And when you went into rehab, did you have certainty that you were, all right, it's time to make change, it's time to get on top of things? Or did you keep relapsing while you were in rehab, or how did that all look for the 4 months you were there?
Man, it wasn't flawless. Like, I was ready to stop, but I still had all these habits that I had that when I feel bad and when I'm going through withdrawals, I need to escape it. I just can't live with it. You know, I can't deal with the suffering that comes with withdrawals. So I was in there and I was talking a good game. I remember being about it to everyone else. I'm ready to stop. I'm ready to be clean. But I'd be going down, and because they were weaning me off Valium, so I'd have a certain, like every couple hours I'd go and get dosed up and they'd slowly wean me off it. But I remember going to the nurse and like putting them in my pocket and going up to my room and like storing them where no one could find them, and then just having a whole bunch of them to make me feel something during the day. So it was like, that was like, well, just another thing that I was like, I'm not really ready to stop yet. And then I got out, and even that wasn't a flawless run. I was like, I'd gotten off the methadone, I'd gotten off the clonazepam, which is the benzodiazepine. And I remember for the first, I think it was about 5 or 6 months, I was like a mess, man. And I was so raw and just feeling withdrawals that I was like, I'm not ready to go through this. I was like not strong mentally. I was not healthy. I was sick. So I was like, because I'd just gotten out of rehab, I was like I wasn't going to go do drugs. I wanted to go drink, but I couldn't go do that because I know my family would see that and they would be able to tell that I was drunk. So this is shit. But I was drinking Listerine, man. Like I was swigging Listerine because it had alcohol in it, which is a horrible type of alcohol, really unhealthy for you. But I was just swigging it down, drinking it, and that would sort of numb me for a bit. So I was starting doing that every day. And then I was just like, okay, this is bad. I need to stop doing this before this becomes something. Otherwise, like it's just getting worse and worse. So I went to the doctor, told him what was going on. They put me on this medication that helped. And then the last 4 years has been about getting off all that stuff, and I'm almost off. Like I was on like 6 or 7 medications, and I've got 2 left.
Mm. You were quite like shaky when explaining those times. They must have been quite low for you 4 years ago.
Man, it's just like to go through that. There's so much shame there. I think about like, I just think about my parents a lot and what they've gone through and how supportive they've been, but just how constantly I would fall. But regardless, they were always still there. But to I hate the fact that like they've taken it so personally. Like they're like, I remember my dad going, "Where did we go wrong?" And that just broke my heart, man, to hear him say that when
Take your time, man.
yeah, to hear my dad say that when he hasn't done really anything wrong, like none of the drug taking and none of the addiction was his fault. It's all my stuff. But of course, being parents, they're going to be like, where do we go wrong? You know, that was just a constant thing they would ask. And man, when I went to rehab for 4 months, like I remember going in and getting out, and I saw my mum, and she looked like she'd aged like 10 years in that time. And I just felt this like, I'm responsible for that, you know? That's my psychotic kind of self-destructiveness has like caused that to happen, and the fact that I'm responsible for that just eats me up, man. It's so hard to let go of that shame and the guilt that comes with that. So that's been a huge part of it, is getting on top of it to show them that, you know, they haven't failed, and that, you know, I want to make them proud. Like, I've made them proud before, but I want them to know that when I'm going away and doing trips like this, that I'm not going to be just going and destroying myself, you know? And it's been really beautiful over the last few years to reconnect with them. So, 'cause like, they all live at my joint with me. My parents are with me. My brother's at mine. And I go for a walk and have coffee with them every morning. Every night we have dinner together. And then like, I'll spend the night watching movies or TV shows with mum or with my dad, depending on what day it is. And those last 4 or 5 years has been just epic to bond with them again and to develop a relationship with them that is less them being the parent and having to take care of me and me fixing myself and being able to take care of myself again, which has been really cool because they've been able to just be like, oh, he's all good now. Especially since coming to faith, they can see that there's a real huge shift as soon as that happened. It's been a big shift to just wanting to do things right.
Do you think they're a big driver for all the success you're striving towards now?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, they're so important to me, and their happiness, and they're going through old age now. So I want to make sure that they are sorted. Like, I don't want them to worry for anything. I want to give the support that they gave me to them. Yeah.